won't forget when Peter Pan came to my house, took my hand. I said I was a boy, I'm glad he didn't check.
Femininity. A word that is difficult to say without stumbling through the inity, to reach the end. It is a word that is even more difficult to embrace than to pronounce. When entering this project, I asked myself, what does it mean to be feminine? What does that reveal about a person? Is it a truthful enough expression of who I am?
I scared the pants off of my mom, climbed what I could climb above. And I don't know how I survived.
I hope this is like, okay.
I've always had really long hair growing up. Like, my hair was down my back.
I've had long hair my whole life, and my mom always she loved it. She never wanted me to cut it off because it was so beautiful, and my hair was this thing.
I grew up in a really traditional Catholic Italian household, and my mom was always long hair is really pretty. I would hate it if you ever cut your hair really short.
I even remember my mom saying to me when I was growing up, you should wear your hair down, because I would always wear it up. I always had it in a bun, a ponytail. I always had long hair because that's what girls should have.
I think she was totally supportive, but I don't think she wanted me to have to deal with backlash.
It wasn't, I don't think necessarily oppressive, but it was definitely a thing that your hair is beautiful, you are good.
That whole idea of what's a beautiful girl or person in the United States, was not even just the United States, in the world, the concept of who's beautiful, was something I struggled with as a kid.
To be a feminine woman, you're supposed to have long hair, and wear makeup and heels and dresses, and there's this standard ideal of beauty.
But I think that was why it was so revolutionary. I was really afraid to tell her that I cut my hair, because I was afraid she was going to be upset that this thing that she thought was so beautiful and so wonderful was no longer with me.
Especially when my hair was very long, I spent a lot of time on it.
But it just became more and more tiresome.
I have a whole drawer in my house at home, back in Pittsburgh, and it's just filled with different size curling irons. Some are cones. There's big cones and small cones, and there's thick curling irons and small curling irons, and there's one with a spiral up it, and there's a thick straightener and a thin straightener, and there's hot rollers, and there's not hot rollers that you sponge rollers, and there's so many things.
Going out in public and you took all your time on your hair, and someone's like, you didn't do your hair today. I spent all day on my hair, and you're gonna say I didn't do it? It hurts.
It's a love-hate process.
My hair story until that point had been one where it controlled me.
There's too much history in my hair. I just need to grow away from it.
First time I cut my hair short, I was 13 in the 8th grade.
The first time I had it cut short was in the 8th grade.
End of my freshman year.
7 or 8.
Cut my hair all off when I was in 4th grade.
Sophomore year of high school.
Senior year, high school.
I persuaded my mom. I was just I can't do it anymore. I hate when you comb my hair. It's all tangled.
I told my mom, I'm deciding what I'm doing with my hair.
And I just kind of wanted to take control of it. And I did that by cutting it off.
Then I looked in the mirror. I was this is so much more me.
And it felt really good. I really liked it.
I rode around on my Razor scooter right after I got my hair cut, and it was I'm a boy today.
It just made everything easier, and I don't know, I thought I looked pretty good with it.
It felt like someone was taking away a part of me, but at the same time I also felt like I was being given so much more.
Cutting it off was kind of I'm me, this is, and I am beautiful, whatever that means, to myself, enough to totally change what I knew about myself for 20 years, which was this girl with long hair.
When I was a child, my hair was natural, and it was nappy, it was big. But then I was in someone's wedding, and they texturized my hair. And then the thing about texturizer is that you have to continuously use it. But my mom didn't know that they had texturized my hair. So she started realizing that my hair was getting brittle and hard, really hard to manage. And it was what's going on? It's not the same anymore.
I didn't have a choice in the matter because my hair was already breaking off from a bad relaxer. So my mom took me to the hairdressers and had it cut. And it was about this length.
Eventually it was like buzzed completely down, probably about a ½ inch long. So it's just like this peach fuzz head, which was my least attractive look probably.
It was the shortest my hair had ever been, and I was so insecure about it. Like, I thought I looked like a boy, and I thought I was ugly, and it was just a huge blow to my self-esteem.
My dad was not so accepting. My dad had always, like, I don't know, prided himself over my hair. He was like, oh, you're such a beautiful young girl. And I had the same color hair as him and everything. So when I cut all my hair off, he was kind of disappointed, kind of like saw a tear in his eye. He's like, my little girl.
I expected him to be, well, it's your body, do whatever you want. But it surprised me, and it still surprised me because he still has the same reaction, really, every time I do. And he's just like, my beautiful baby's gone. And it's just like, ah.
My dad, when he was driving me somewhere, he said, you know, well, hair is a woman's crown and glory, so why'd you cut it that short? And this was the first time I had shaved my head, so I didn't like it too much, but I told him anyway. I was like, well, it's just hair, it'll grow back. And I didn't quite believe it myself, but I was feeling kind of defiant when he said that, because something about that really irritated me.
I think that being a woman, we're evaluated based on our appearances all the time, in a way that men just aren't. Like, our worth is based in how we look.
I feel like if a woman wants to have short hair, she should be able to have it. Like, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be, oh, well, she's devaluing herself or she's losing something of value. Hair is just hair.
I don't know, that's really strange to me. I think that a woman's beauty is measured by the length of her hair, something so trivial that it doesn't matter.
Well, the first day I went to school. I went to school the next day with my haircut, and I didn't tell anyone about it. No one knew that I was planning on doing it. And I was really excited to reveal the new me because I thought it was such a cool, like, edgy haircut. And I walked into science class in junior high, and my friend Chris looked at me with this, like, look. And then he was just like, why'd you do that? Why'd you cut your hair like that? You look like a dyke.
I remember one time is actually right on this porch, like there was some drunk kids like walking past, and they were like giving like my boyfriend a hard time. He was just trying to get in, and I like was just, you know, in my pajamas, no makeup, and like my hair, you know, was short, and I went to the door, and they were like yelled some crude words and about my dyke ass haircut is what they called it.
Before I was going to college, I remember walking with my friend down the street, and she was like, your hair looks so nice, I wish I could shave my head, but I'm too scared. And I was like, why are you scared? It's fun, it's nice. And she said, well, you don't dress like a lesbian, so nobody will think you're a lesbian.
That's supposed to be insulting to me? That's supposed to be insulting to anyone?
It was like I cut my hair short, so your immediate reaction is that I am now a lesbian?
You don't even know me, you're just basing that off of the way that I look right now.
Like, I don't even know what I am. And they're gonna think that I'm a dyke or whatever that even means.
It was just like, why? Like, it's just the hair.
Because I behave in this way, I'm automatically assumed to be gay. And that's oftentimes, I think, used as a tool to keep people in their boxes.
I just want people to know me as what I am. And when they meet me, I don't want them to have incorrect preconceived notions about who I am. Everyone assumes that I'm like grade A straight, you know, lesbian, but like that's not what I identify as, and it's kind of hard having short hair.
I spent a long time being like, don't be perceived as gay, don't act gay. And then when I came out as queer, I had to do this big redefining process of sort of, you know, what does it mean? Do I still get to be feminine? And is that even something that I want to ascribe to?
It just confuses me to assume someone's identity based off of some stereotype about your appearance.
I was really trying to hide myself, and I think it's because I didn't feel feminine enough.
It also feels like you have to do a whole bunch more to be seen as beautiful.
I would do as colorful, girly stuff as possible to like make it look longer.
For the next 9 months, I wore a hat every single day. And it was ridiculous, but it was something that I felt that I needed to do because I still wasn't secure with myself with short hair.
I was looking at a picture of my friends, and oh, they look so good. And I was like, what is that in the background? And it was my head. It's, oh my God, I walked around school looking like that? And then I just said, wait, did you really just flip the whole entire script against yourself?
That stuff that happened to me back then still sticks with me now. It's really hurtful. It's really hard. It's lasted a long time.
It's really interesting to me that you can do something because you're a boy and you can't do something because you're a girl, or you have to do something because you're a girl.
There's a whole bunch of people in public who give me strange looks, who would not address me with pronouns because they weren't sure what I was.
I got mistaken for a guy in the lunch line in middle school multiple times when I would reject parts of it. It's like either you take it all or you take none of it. And I guess I look androgynous in a way, like
People in public would just treat me differently. When I had longer hair, it's hard to say, but there was less of a hesitation.
I was getting ready to run a 200-meter relay, and I was queuing up, and one of the girls racing next to me from another team turned to her coach and said, "Why is there a boy running this relay? This is a girls' relay." And it was just like,
So I try to like wear a nice form-fitting cardigan or something like that, try to make people able to see that I had a womanly shape.
As long as you compensate for what you lack.
And one time I walked into this hospital trying to give some flowers to this doctor, and the nurses all referred to me as male. It's not even like particularly offensive, I just don't know why it happened.
you have to look like a girl or else you're going to be taken for a guy. And if you're not, if you're taken for a guy, it's supposed to be insulting. And I was hurt. I wasn't really insulted. I was just hurt because that's what you're taught to be.
I remember being really, really self-conscious about it, you know, because I was, you know, as a girl, like I never wanted to be anyone else than who I am.
It just throws people off when you don't fit the norm that they have in their head. I don't know, that really bothered me.
I don't know why I found masculinity insulting. Like now when someone says that to me, I kind of just brush it off because it's like, okay, I'm at a point in my life where masculinity compared to femininity doesn't really matter to me very much. But, you know, when you're growing up, you're taught that it does matter and it does hurt. So if you're like being told that you're outside of this like norm or this boundary that you're supposed to be in, it's like, what's wrong with me?
As my hair started getting longer and longer, I would look back on when I had that short hair, and I started to find myself thinking, you know, that wasn't so bad. I actually kind of like it. Maybe I'll do it again.
The idea of the face is, I think, really prominent when you cut your hair, because when I cut it short, I was like, wow, this is my face all on its own. I'm not used to, like, it being the main feature.
Even though I was trying to have like a personal journey with myself, you can never really do that. Like people will always like come into that path.
I think in society we place a lot of value on women with long hair, whether we want to admit it or not. You know, sometimes you'll see a woman with short hair and people will take issue with it, and you know, to me that's ridiculous. It's just hair.
For me, cutting my hair off was like kind of this like, I am a woman. I am proud of myself as an individual, and I want my hair to express that.
I just suddenly became a little fearless, I don't know, with clothing and the way I talked and the way I carried myself. And if someone had an opinion, I just let it roll off my shoulder.
I do think that women are developing into not necessarily a more masculine role, but a more confident side of themselves. And I think that short hair really displays that.
I actually cut like 3 inches off my hair yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I keep saying I'm gonna grow my hair out, but I don't think I'm ever gonna get there. I do plan to grow my hair out. From this point forward, I'm growing it out. I might cut it like one more time,